I'm also a member of the EAA. But actually, I'm the secretary currently at the local chapter here. I just wanted to bring you, the purpose that I'm here tonight is I just wanted to share with you our most recent event, the pancake breakfast. And the reason why I'm bringing it to you is because I've experienced the pancake breakfast for a number of years, and it's just growing by leaps and bounds. And the excitement out there this year was just crazy.
As you know, and some might not, the city has for quite a while now petitioned the FAA because we had been interested in the building of a new airport location, and I'm all for this. I would love to have a new airport. I think that that's a fantastic economic boon to the city. Currently is, and I guess I just don't want to see us be in a situation where if we were to be denied for the new airport, that by accepting this, we would somehow sort of trap ourselves into a situation where, say, the state or the federal government could essentially, because we've put forth that we would like to do XYZ project, and that, you know, we want to accept those dollars. Once those dollars are accepted, then, you know, there's some sort of a clause that would indicate that the federal government or the state government could then say, hey, you've already accepted these dollars. We don't want to see this closed.
So there's certain grant assurances that are tied to that will expire when that planning grant essentially ends. So when that project ends, those all essentially go away. There are certain ones that as long as your airport's open and you're still considered part of the national plan, they apply. And if you were to ask me off the top of my head which ones those are, I would not be able to answer that question because that is not my expertise. To your question, if they came back and said, hey, no new airport, and then the city said, we don't know if we want to have the airport anymore. Obviously, that's something that is a serious discussion. So there's certain projects that have a life assigned to them, and that's where, to your example, where it get more difficult. If you reconstructed one of your runways, you're kind of signing in for 20 more years of the airport being. Hypothetically, if the city came and said, hey, we want to close the airport, we don't want any part of the national plan, that wouldn't be an instantaneous decision. FAA would, there'd be some discussion back and forth. So
I appreciate you bringing up the example of the reconstruction as 20 years, for example, and maybe 5 years. I don't know how long it's going to take the FAA to get back to us, hopefully soon. But you used the phrase, if they agree.
Well, what I mean by that is because FAA you're part of the national plan.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, FAA would have to, weigh in on that to release you from that.
Could they say no?
They could say no.
If they said no, what options would we have at that point?
Well, I guess
if we still wanted to pursue that.
No one's ever asked me that question. You probably would have to, petition your representatives at the federal level.
Have you ever heard of the FAA saying no in the past to anyone?
I have. There's an airport in California.
If your intent is to close this airport, then don't vote for it.
After hearing the presentation tonight, I am more convinced than I was at the last council meeting when you discussed this, that we are not in as much risk as I had originally felt.
Abstain with explanation if you want one.
Sure.
Okay. I'm one of the people that want this airport closed. I will not back anything with the airport anymore. I will not support anything at all that has to do with the airport. I want to see it closed. Explanation.